Good morning. This is Friday, April the 30th. Thank you for returning to these daily broadcasts. Yesterday, we finished up on navigating the landmines of a breakup, helping the single refocus their attention and affections. And today, as mentioned, we are going to undertake a new daily devotional series from the book of Ecclesiastes, in particular chapter 3, which is a very famous portion of Scripture about time. There's a time for this and a time for that. And I've entitled this, Learning How to Sense the Right Time to Act. Learning how to sense the right time to act. Ecclesiastes is a book of wisdom. Let's look at the introduction. Solomon is the author, according to Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 1. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Solomon was the son of David and Bathsheba, and he was anointed king upon David's deathbed. And in the early days and weeks of his newfound coronation, God appeared to him and said, "Ask whatever you will, and I'll give it to you." And Solomon, being very young, told the Lord that he wanted wisdom in order to rule the people. And God told him, "Because you did not ask for power and money and fame, I will give you this wisdom, plus what you did not ask for." And God certainly did bless Solomon's life. And he was granted unique wisdom. A particular situation that is recorded in Scripture is the two prostitutes who had children, and one prostitute rolled over on top of her child and killed it, and then claimed that the other prostitute had taken her child. And this is where you divide the baby in half, and the real mother expressed her sorrow and grief. And Solomon knew that she was the true mother. Also, the Queen of Sheba came to visit Solomon, and at the end of their visit, she said of him that she had never seen such wisdom expressed and demonstrated before. Now, when Solomon writes this book, he's at a very low point in his life. He has turned away from God. The blessings of God he has turned into a curse in the way he has responded to the blessings of God. And so as you read the book of Ecclesiastes, one thing that you will notice is the repetitive words vanity or futility 18 times and striving after win 9 times. Now let me back up to the top for a moment. You have the 1 in 5. Ecclesiastes is just one of 5 books entitled Wisdom in the Old Testament. Psalms, Proverbs, Song of Solomon, Ecclesiastes, those are the wisdom books. Also in chapter 3, as we undertake this study, there's a series of 14 juxtaposing opposites, illustrating verse 1's premise of there is a time for everything under the sun. That word simply means opposite. Opposite. So if you take a look at chapter 3 and verse 2, a time to give birth and a time to die, those are opposites. And so the Spirit of God moved Solomon to write in this particular genre, literary style. So, what is the theme of Ecclesiastes? It is a completely honest record of a man trying to find meaning and purpose in life apart from God. 18 references to either vanity or futility, depending on your translation, and at least 9 references to chasing after wind. And if you just read the first 2 chapters, he has embarked on several pursuits to find contentment and pleasure and satisfaction. And after each pursuit he put his hand to, he concluded, this is vanity. This too is chasing after wind. It is emptiness. So God is an honest God. He does not paint a rosy picture of Christianity or the Christian life. And these people in the Bible and the studying of their life in biography form is very important to us. Paul put it this way in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, that these were written for our examples, not to crave the same evil things that they did. So the theme of Ecclesiastes overall, a completely honest record of a man trying to find meaning and purpose in life apart from God. Now, what's the central idea of chapter 3 then, which parallels to what the overall theme is, but becomes a little bit more crystal clear? Life is better understood when we recognize that everything has its appointed time with reason and purpose, or for a reason and a purpose. Life is better understood when we recognize that everything has its appointed time with reason and with purpose. And this is important to the Christian in particular, especially the Christian who is walking in cadence with the Spirit of God, being led by the Spirit, taught by the Spirit. When things suddenly come upon our lives and we don't understand the timing of this, or why is this happening now, we can come back to this foundational stone in our lives and say, there's a purpose behind this. There's a reason behind this, because God's attention is focused on me for His glory and for my good. Thank you. We'll see you next time as we pick up and get into a little bit more detail and do a brief word study about time. We'll see you Monday, Lord willing.